I would describe the Kitsap music scene, the punk scene, which is gritty. It's very working class. A lot of like old school like oi influences you can hear in a lot of the bands that come out of here. But there's also that darkness that translates into the music. It's pretty cool. I'm here for it. I'm Andy. I'm the co-owner at the Charleston here in Bremerton.
Angel, welcome.
I think live music is important, not only just to Kitsap County, but like any community where people are making music. It's a really good form of expression, especially when you're a younger kid and you don't really have all these avenues to really release your aggression or whatever you're going through.
And you can express yourself in an artistic form in front of an audience that's open-minded enough to let you have your 30 minutes on stage or whatever. It's really nice to be able to host that here, so it's important.
It was rolling the dice when we first started the place. We've been involved in the scene ever since we were kids and old enough to like get in bands and play music. So to take a business aspect of it, that was scary when we first opened up. And the first couple of years were a little tough, but our community and our scene is strong enough and seems like it's going to be around for a while.
We started back in 2008, and it was out of the need for us to have a permanent place to host music and to host all these bands that wanted to come through the area. There were a lot of other venues that we tried to do and house parties, but a lot of them would get shut down because of noise complaints or the funny-looking people going in and out of the places. So this building was sitting empty for a couple years, and we just kept thinking, man, that would be the perfect home for what we're all trying to do here. We bit the bullet, called the realtor. Next thing you know, we're leasing it month to month, and here we are 15 years later. I think we definitely want people to know that we're pushing the DIY concept of booking shows. We don't want it to be this unobtainable place to play. We want to make it really easy to where if an artist comes in and they have the same ideas and same concept, like no racism, no sexism, no xenophobia, that kind of stuff. If they have an art form that they want to perform here, we want to encourage them to maybe book their own show and come in here and bring their own acts that they want to see and put together their own idea, and we'll guide them through the whole process. And I think that's really important to keep the next generation of this going, so that way when we get too old and we can't hear anymore because we don't wear earplugs, we can rely on the next gen to come up and already know how to do it. So somebody taught us, so we have to pass it down,
Yeah. All ages is important for not only here, but any punk community out there. Punk rock is youth, and it's, angst, and it's what the kids have to say. We need to listen to them, and we want to make sure that we always have this spot available to where kids can go and, watch bands, get inspired, play shows, and, just stay active and stay away from things that are going to ruin their lives, So music to the rescue.
And also, I would like to add that I was under 21 when we first started this place. So it's always been something really important to me, knowing what it's like to not be allowed in the bar area or to have to sit outside of a bar and try and peek in through the windows to see the bands. And, we've been through all that. So when we started this place, we vowed to always keep it all ages, no matter how hard we had to fight for that. When you first come in here, you should expect to see a lot of art, a lot of chaos. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have an all ages section. It is separate from the bar, so that way it's all in one big room. So if you're in the bar, you can still see the stage, you can still be part of the show, but you can still have your drinks back here. And that way we have the all ages section to where if you walk into the right-hand side, you're in the bar area. If you walk to the left, you go down the ramp and you're in the pit area. And then we have, so that's where everybody gets all dancey and fun. And then we have an upper level area for people that want to bring their kids or are underage and just don't want to get into into the pit or into all the madness. So there is a separate area just to stand and hang out. And a lot of parents like it because they can actually bring their younger children here and sit in the bar and have a drink watching their kid go have fun and run around. So Bremerton has had such a rich musical historical culture. When we first started this place, we were talking to the old owner of Natasha's Pearls that used to host shows back in, I believe, the mid-90s, late 80s, early 90s. And they hosted bands like Heart and Nirvana and Jimi Hendrix and just these like bigger bands that were this was the place on this side of the water. It was Bremerton. So for such a small town to have such a rich history, we wanted to continue that. And so when we started this place, we were talking to the owner of Natasha's, and she was just, she had had her time and she was done with it, but we got her blessing to carry on the tradition. When you do something like this and you see it bring so much happiness and so much passion and excitement to people, you kind of think like, okay, well, here's my mark. Like, I think I left a good mark on it, and it's going to continue on past us. And it's spawning more venues around the area to open up. Like the Tracy Kid Movie House just opened. Minette's been doing shows for a long time. This resurgence of the music scene here, so it's nice to be part of that.
There's been so many bigger bands come through here, and like even smaller bands that just pack such a big punch that it's like almost every show has like a etched memory in our brain. And so it's just cool to see people doing what they're doing and just own their craft. If you like punk rock, if you like metal, if if life's just getting to you and you just need to just watch somebody, have somebody yell at you, or just it's like a very unhinged art form, live music in general, and it's cool to see people exchanging that with each other, and I think that's very unique, and you can't just get that at any bar, or just you can't just go get drunk and have your problems go away. You got to kind of deal with it head on, and feel like live music and bands kind of like force you to face that. So, kind of introspective. You get the point.
So being around for 15 years, it's intense thinking about when we first started and the ideas that we had of, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had a place to do shows over there? And now 15 years later, looking at it growing into such a beast of a business to where it's way bigger than the two of us now. It's way bigger than even the crew that we have here. It's taken over as its own thing.
For our 15-year anniversary, we have a string of shows coming up. It's gonna be cool, like starting chill acoustic, and then it's gonna build up to a punk, and then end with like death metal and grindcore. So for that weekend, we can offer everybody a good, like, at least a night out to what they enjoy. All these bands are homies and people that have supported us, and have played here forever. So it's cool to like get them in here and get them involved with our celebration, to look back and be like, oh, this this idea that we had it's going global. So any advice that I would personally give any bands trying to play here: first and foremost, be kind. Don't be a dickhead rock star. Nobody likes that. If you're trying to book a show here, send us your music so that we know what you sound like. If you have videos, send that to us. Any information you can send us so we can figure out where to put you. To find out what shows we have coming up, any events and stuff, the best way to find out is just go to thecharleston333.com, or check us out on Facebook, Instagram, look at the marquee, pop by here, look at the flyers, talk to people, talk to punks. See anybody with funny hair color walking around, just, be like, hey, when's the next show? But yeah, no, just go online and just Google the Charleston, and we're pretty easy to find on there, and we have our shows listed up, and we usually put up a description of at least one or two bands that are playing on there, so you can get an idea of who's playing and what kind of vibe there's going to be.
Okay.
Nice, sweet. Hope I didn't f*** it out, dude.